Happy New Year 2024. I'm so excited to begin this year with this video. First of all, and before we dive into the actual video, I want to thank you so much for all the support. This is actually the second year where I'm making this content, whether it be on the actual podcast or videos here on YouTube. It's been great, it's been beautiful, and I will always be grateful for all the support. Every year I feel that we begin with all these expectations, with goals, enthusiastic about what that year is going to bring for us. And it's beautiful to always begin a year that way. And then later on, of course, throughout the year, we realize that maybe life has other plans. And whenever life throws you a curveball, that's really the moment where you begin to use all the tools that you've gathered and see if maybe you're going to be able to overcome that moment. I do want to encourage you to wake up every day with expectations of learning something new. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can be in your 80s, 90s. It's a beautiful thing to maintain this idea that there's something to be learned each day. I really would hate to be in a mentality where I feel that I know it all. And that being said, 2023 brought a lot of knowledge and a lot of lessons that I've learned. One of them, I'm going to just mention three of them. One of them, the first one, was regarding my health. As I mentioned in other videos, maybe like around March, April, I encountered something that I've never felt before. I woke up in the middle of the night with this discomfort in my chest and esophagus area. Like I felt like I felt like my chest was on fire, and I didn't understand what that was. I remember that I prayed that night. I had a little bit of anxiety, but then the next day I made a doctor's appointment. And to make the long story short, the doctor saw me or kind of was evaluating me for like a whole month, trying different medication. And then when we saw that that discomfort wouldn't go away, he ordered a sonogram and a something like a little camera going down my esophagus and into my stomach. That came out good. Nothing was wrong. And he um, prescribed some other medication. But throughout all this, I was taking therapy, and my therapist was very, very much concerned and was asking me what the doctor had said. And I remember that in one of our sessions, I was mentioning to her that I felt that there was a correlation between a physical pain or physical discomfort to an emotion. And I was like, I'm not sure where that is coming from, but that's just something that I feel. And she's like, well, that's funny that you bring that up because there is a concept. I'm not sure what that concept is, but she recommended a series on Netflix, which was a Turkish series. And I was able to watch it. And as I was watching that series, I remember I was bawling, I was crying because it was resonating. Not necessarily because we had anything in common. It was different storylines. So it was really different to what I was feeling, but the concept itself kind of made sense to me, or was making me understand things that were happening to me. And whenever I remember after watching that series, it made sense, like something clicked. And it wasn't until the following day, whenever I was talking to my sisters about it, I was mentioning to them, this is what I saw in this series, and this is what I learned, and this is what I think I have. And I promise you, you may probably not believe what I'm about to say, but that night I felt a lot of peace. And when I woke up, that discomfort, that pain was no longer there. This was like around May, June, whenever I was watching the series. And from that moment on, and I'm talking about now is January 2024, I haven't felt that discomfort at all. So it kind of confirmed that I did have something that I needed to release. And the thing that I was able to release was this idea that I need to receive validation, love, attention from outside people, because I got caught up in trying to please, trying to do what other people wanted me to do, that I lost myself and I didn't even pay attention to myself. So then, when I understood that I could give all that to me, that's when that discomfort went away, and I haven't felt it ever since. So that was a huge lesson. And another thing that was beautiful that that situation brought was that I began to walk more. I was walking maybe like once or twice a week, but now I was actually doing it almost 6 days out of the week. And now 2024, it's no longer just walking, like I'm actually jogging. um, on Thanksgiving Day, my sisters and I did a 5K, and while everybody's maybe running, you have no idea what other people are going through. The same way they didn't know why what was going through my head, but what was happening to me was this whole sense of gratitude, because I was like, thank God that I wasn't something serious whenever that situation happened earlier that year. But thank God that I'm able to walk and run. Thank God that I'm able to enjoy the wind like hitting my face. Thank God that I'm here with my sisters, creating memories. So I truly love doing that now. Like every day I go out for my walk. I enjoy nature. That was something beautiful. One of the gifts that um, came along with all that difficult time in the beginning of the year. The next thing that I learned was the moments that I have a few friends that whenever they go out of town, they'll ask me to house sit. And when I have the time to be by myself in these spaces, it allows me once again to connect with me and to kind of see where I'm heading. Like I've always mentioned, sometimes whenever we're in situations, our vision is foggy and we don't see clearly. So it's good to be out and from those situations to have a clear view of where you stand and where you want to go. So I'm grateful for those opportunities where I'm able to just be by myself, and I even turn off the music. I have no TV on, and it's just time with me to connect with me and see, check up on me and see what I need, what I want. And remember, whenever you're good, everything else just falls into place. There's no better investment than the investment that you can do for yourself. And lastly, the one other thing that I learned, and this one was a little bit more difficult because I think that I was trying to resist. I didn't want to accept it, but it began at the very end of 2022, going into 2023. This whole concept of me trying to fix and give advice and be the one with the right message for you to prevent you from suffering so you can learn the lesson without the suffering. I think that that was where I was coming from. And I realized that it's kind of like going to school. When you take your exam, no one else takes your exam. You have to take it yourself. So it's up to you to pay attention, to be involved in the class, to know and understand and feel confident that whenever the exam comes along, you're going to be able to pass that exam. When you know for a fact that you weren't paying attention, you were not just not paying attention, you know that it's going to be more likely that you're going to fail that exam. And life is like that. So I apologize once again for to everyone, like my family, my friends, and my coworkers, when if I ever came across knowing it all and this is how you should do it. I realized that my ego was in the way. Not only that, but if you pay attention, I was too occupied with everybody else that I was not paying attention to what I needed, and where I needed to focus on is me. So that was a huge lesson. And don't get me wrong, don't feel that once you have that lesson, you learn and that's it. Let me tell you that I had you fall back into it because you're so used to it. Just an example, there's two people arguing, and one of them comes to me and kind of tells me, well, this is what's going on. And then instead of me saying, hey, well, y'all need to calm down and just talk and everything will be fine, you know what I did? I go and I'm always over there fighting the battle for that person. And I'm over there screaming and I'm over there getting like very upset, and the other person's getting upset with me. And then the following day, the person was still mad at me, but the other person and the other, they were good together. They weren't mad anymore. So pick your battles. Everything's going to be fine. But I wish you nothing but the best for this 2024. Know that if you fall, it's okay. Just get up and continue your journey. Everything's going to be fine. Once again, thank you so much for your support, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.